Hello there. Welcome to Online People Talking, or OPT as we like to call it. This program is dedicated to you, the new home online sales specialist, dedicated to enhancing your career and your lives with real life challenges, stories, scenarios, and solutions for you that you can apply to your business. And I am so excited because today I have three of my favorite people in the industry. They are truly online sales influencers, as I like to call it. We have Jessie Greene. Say hi, Jessie.
Hey, everyone.
Kerri Woodward.
Hi.
And Summer Davis.
Hi.
And I'm going to introduce them, or they're going to introduce themselves here in a minute. But the reason I wanted to have them on together is they bring three unique perspectives to our industry. Kerri is a sales manager. Summer is an online salesperson. Jessie's an online salesperson, one of a team. And, you know, they all have some marketing impacts that cross over as well. But I wanted to bring them to you so they could talk about some things that they took away from the summit, but more importantly, not just about the summit, but the things that they took away and how they are going to be able to apply them to their business. What were the main things that they wanted to kind of put into action? So stay with us. We are all about authenticity over perfection. So if you see some internet quirkiness, that's why we love technology. Okay, so let's start with Jessie. I want to just brag on Jessie real quick. Those of you that use Lasso may have noticed Jessie's beautiful face pop up recently on the dashboard because Jessie was Online Sales Consultant of the Month for the month of September. Yes, we were very excited to see that. So congratulations, Jessie. So tell everybody kind of, you know, where you're at in the world and what you've been doing, how long you've been doing it. Talk a little bit about that and your builder.
Sure. So I work for Mungo Homes. We are a production builder mostly with a small semi-custom build on your land program here in our corporate office in Columbia, South Carolina, but we service the Southeast and North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. We, as a company, started in 1954, so we've been around for a while. It started and still is family run. It's a wonderful company to work for. We do have a large number of communities that we service. So that's something that's unique about, you know, us and our program as online sales and having a team of 4.
How many, tell everybody how many communities you guys manage, because that's important.
Gosh. A ton, probably
like 100.
Yeah, a little over 100 probably, and many more on the way. We just acquired a new market. The Greensboro area.
That just blows my mind, first of all. Okay, so 100 communities that you're responsible. Okay.
Yeah. We have about a little under 2,000 in sales last year, and we're projected to do, you know, more than that this year. So it's an awesome way to see the company just continue to progress.
Wow. So team of 4. It wasn't always that way. You guys started with a team of 2, and then you grew it to 3, and now you're at 4, I guess so, with all of those sales that you're having. How many leads do you guys manage as a team on average each month?
So including BDX, which we know give a lot of leads daily, we do about 900 a month, but about half of those come from BDX.
Oh, okay. So that's a big percentage. You guys are shaking your head. Do both of you guys manage BDX also, Kerri?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a large amount.
Yeah, large amount.
We don't know. I had one actually yesterday, and it was the first one I've had in a month. So it's not huge for our market. So.
Right. Yeah. And you guys, we'll get into where where everybody's located, but so Jessie, you guys are mainly on the East Coast, right?
Right.
So, okay, 900 leads a month roughly. How many appointments is your team setting on a monthly basis? All leads, all in, combined?
So last year as a team, we did about 1,500, but it's increased this year. So I would say, a little over 100 to 150 as a team.
Okay. All right.
Um,
And how many sales did you guys do? How many sales have you guys had this year so far?
right, as an online team,
Mm-hmm.
right under 350.
Okay, 350. That's awesome. And do you know what your overall contribution to sales overall, when you look at all of your numbers compared to what the company's doing as a whole?
Yeah, so the online sales team, we contribute about 26% right now. In 2016, when we first started with you guys, we were at 7%. So it's really cool that it's gone up.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy. 7% to 26%. Okay, we'll take it. That's awesome. Great testimonial there, Jessie.
Yeah.
Okay, Summer, let's switch to you. Tell us a little bit about where you're at in the world and your builder.
Okay. I work for American Classic Homes. We're a local Washington builder, family run. We build production homes and spot lot or infill, depending on which area you are. We've been doing that in the Seattle area for over 20 years. We build kind of a higher end home. Currently, our production home, community homes are about 1.3 million and up, and our spot lots are 2 million and up, and we just recently sold one for 2.5. So
wow.
Like I kind of inferred to earlier, we have a lot of our buyers work in tech. So we have Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, and that's only going to grow. On the east side, there's going to be more Amazon building over there because they didn't go to New York. And so that's kind of our overall market. I've been doing this for 3.5 years now. I am the unofficial, official first OSC for my company. There was one before me, which Mike Lyon says we do not mention her name. She's like Baltimore. She's like Baltimore or Baltimore. Like we don't, yeah. So she wasn't a fit, the right fit. So I guess I love it, and I'm still here. Last year we sold 52 homes and closed on 66. So we're, not a huge builder, like local and regional, but this has actually been our best year to date. So I was going to say that we had sold 62 homes, but right before I got on the call, we went meet you all another home in this community, Foxwoods, which I'm at right now. So now we're at 5 to 80. So it is our best year to date, and our company is amazing, and we get to bring our significant others because of our hard work. So it's great.
That's awesome. So you can see, so what I'm hearing you saying is if you work for Amazon, you can afford a $2.5 million house. So
you'd have to be
maybe we all need to go work for Amazon. Yeah. But as you can see, online sales is not one size fits all. I mean, Jessie, 2,000 homes, team of 4, Summer, 60 homes, team of 1, it's different, right? But the cool thing is that you both are still experiencing the same challenges, I'm sure, if we dove deep into it. Same successes, same challenges, just in a different way. Okay, Miss Kerri. Miss Kerri is in my market here in Hampton Roads. I've known her for several years now in the industry, and I'm so excited she's on today to talk as a manager of their online sales program, but also from the marketing side of things. So Kerri, tell everyone a little bit about your builder, how long you've been doing it, kind of what you do, and a little bit about Chesapeake Homes.
All right, so I work for Chesapeake Homes. We are a regional builder. We build in Virginia Beach, Virginia, Hampton Roads area, Raleigh, North Carolina, and just opened up a community in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina last year. Last year we sold 350 homes, and this year will probably be closer to 450 homes, adding on that additional division. We have an online sales team of 2 that work for us. I've been with the company for 12 years. So straight out of college, I joined the company. as a hostess part-time and worked my way into an on-site sales position, and then grew with the company and became the Virginia sales manager. And now I'm the director of sales and marketing for the company and their broker for 2 divisions.
Amazing.
So yeah, so the plate's full right now.
You know, but to your testament, I would say this is one industry where you can really, you get your foot in the door and you do a good job and you can really grow and evolve and do other things. I mean,
Absolutely.
You know, I had the similar experience. I started as an executive assistant and, you know, went through all the, you know, realtor, office manager, operations manager, sales. I mean, you know, it just, you know, you get your foot in the door, you can grow and really evolve. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the way I like to hire people too, is not with experience, with just the right attitude, and have people grow through our company. It's been an amazing experience being able to do that.
What's your philosophy on, you have a special philosophy on the right kind of people to hire. So
yeah, just people with the right attitude. It is just the right attitude. Like, you need to have the right attitude, right perspective on life, and just be a go-getter. And we can train you on how to sell homes. That's the easy part. But finding the person with the right work ethic is where it is all about.
And I think I once heard you say that you like to hire teachers and waitresses.
I do. Teachers and restaurant employees, man, they're the best. They are the best, seriously.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, I've been in a restaurant before and I've had such good service, and I've thought, man, that person would be a great salesperson, you know?
Typically good multitaskers, put out fires well, can talk to a customer. The interview's great because it's right there and they don't know they're being interviewed. So most of my staff has come from either a teaching background or a restaurant background.
That's awesome. Do you know, Kerri, off the top of your head, you have a team of 2 for your online sales program. Yep. Do you know how long your online sales program has been in place, roughly?
4 years. 4 years.
Okay, 4 years. And it started out with one person, and then you added a team member a couple of years ago, right?
Correct. It's been a year and a half since Ashley joined us.
Year and a half. Okay. And do you know what your overall online sales contribution is from your program?
Absolutely. It's 35% is what we're running at this year so far. Last year we were around 32, so there's been some good growth. And then years before that, it was much closer to 20%, and that's before we had really adopted a formal program with you all.
Yeah, that's awesome. It takes a process. So
it does.
You know, if you're listening and you have an online sales program, you got to have a process. You can't willy-nilly it, and your salespeople have to be on board with your process and educated with your process for sure. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit, and I want to talk to you about, you guys recently attended our summit and had such a great time. It was so good being with you guys in person. I always love to shake your hand and give you a hug in person. Jessie, you attended most of well, let me first say this. So at the summit, we have 2 different tracks. We have online sales, and then we have marketing. And then we added the last couple of years a leadership track too, because we felt like that was important for people who are managing the online sales program to be able to go to that specific leadership track just for them. So Jessie, you attended the online sales track, right, most of the time. So, you know, what was your favorite thing about the summit? And then what were your main like takeaways or like light bulb moments where you were like, oh, because you've been before, right? It wasn't like you'd never been. So talk to me from your perspective what those things were.
Sure. So, well, going every year is just a refresher, and it just recharges you completely. When you come back, you've got a new, you know, fresh mindset of, I've got this. There's people out there struggling with the same things I am and have the same successes as I do too. So that's one of the biggest things about the conference. But my biggest takeaway was the VIP coming soon communities and just the long-term prospecting.
She's frozen, folks. Okay, let's let's flip to, I'm going to flip to Summer. So Summer, same questions. You attended the online sales and marketing, online sales part as well, right? Most of the time. So for you, what was your biggest aha or takeaway?
So like what Jessie was saying, this is actually my fourth summit, and I always feel that it's amazing. But this year, I think resonated a little bit more with me. Um, I really love the overall like theme of human connection when we're living in this world of modern technology and AI, and we actually talk about that a lot in our office and with people. And just how Jeff and Elena and Steve and then you and also Mike said little things and everything intertwined. So like Mike always says, persistence wears down resistance. Now it's personal, personal persistence. So, and
Yeah.
then, Steve with the story branding and remembering that, our role as the guide and our buyers are the hero. And Elena talking about, intention and authenticity and just putting your heart into things. And you're the one that you're getting the buyer to want to be your favorite.
Yeah.
It's not the other way around. You're selling your, company's image, brand, and helping them with the best experience. So overall, I just felt like it was really poignant, and the message was consistent with all the speakers, and I really love that. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. I want to, Jessie, sorry, you cut out, your internet is possessed.
I know.
So, you were talking specifically about the VIP process. What specifically resonated with you? And I also want Summer to chime in on that. But what specifically about the VIP process or conversation? And what she means by VIP process, guys, is like when you have new communities coming soon. So pre-sale process from the online sales perspective.
So we have a system, of course, of rating them as VIP and just trying to give them an initial, hey, you're added, thanks for your interest. But the big part was staying in front of them and just really keeping them up to date, getting updates, whether big or small. So making sure that we're doing that was one of the biggest takeaways for me, along with long-term follow-up.
I loved the comment that Kevin made to our group where he said, be persistent with your presence. Persistent with your presence, because sometimes we fall into the trap of, I don't have anything to say. I don't know what to say. I don't have any updates. I have no idea what's going on out there at Happy Acres. And so sometimes we have to just say that to our interest list. Hey, just want to let you know I don't have any new updates, but stay tuned. You're on the list, and as soon as I know something, you'll know something. So just remembering to stay in front of them once a month. Summer, you had a unique perspective on that, because in the audience, there was some people going, I have such a weird relationship or non-existent relationship with my marketing person. Like, I don't know what's happening with marketing. And you had a unique perspective on that, Summer, because you have an amazing marketing person. How do you talk about your relationship?
Okay, so actually when I first started at American Classic Homes, I shared an office with Jackie, who is head of marketing, and she also works with Kevin, which I think is one of the reasons why things work so well, because we're both part of the Do You Convert team. But I just couldn't believe what people were saying. Like, even though we're no longer in the same, we don't share an office, I'm down the hallway. We do have marketing and sales meetings every other week, like formal ones, but we are intercomming each other every day. And when she walks by my office, because it's on the way to the ladies' room, she stops, we talk. We, have combined forces to every time we have a new VIP community to come up with better ways and implementation and templates and building out timeframes. And we can't do everything the same way as, ideally, like, Kevin's, because of our builder, what we do, but we do our best, and every year it gets better. But I also heard somebody say, oh yeah, start getting all these emails. And then I find out that, the marketing department sent out this email about some community. And I'm just like, really? I go on, and then on my side, Jackie will be like, I'm sending out an email at 1. Will you be to lunch? I just want to make sure you're around. I don't want to send it when you're off doing something. So that's kind of the big difference, where we actually not even that I know, but she also is like, oh, is this a good time for you? Like, so
yeah, it's like common courtesy of each other's role.
Right.
Yeah. That's a great point.
Yeah. So I just was like, so grateful. I was already grateful, but I just couldn't believe, because I'm like, we talk all the time.
Yeah. So online salespeople, go to your marketing person and bug them, right? It's not like, well, they haven't told me anything, right? Go to your marketing person and bug them. Marketing people, go to your online salesperson and download them. And even if you don't have any new updates, tell them there's no new updates. Kerri, do you have any thoughts on that as well? Because
I was just thinking about all of our blunders that we've made through the VIP process of pre-sale and the whole marketing concept of not talking. And it's amazing what this community has taught me on how to be a better manager, because you're able to kind of be a part of the Facebook group on marketing or online sales. Like, you hear about these isms and then you see them happening in your own organization. And it's really helped me to become a better manager and smoothing out, because I realized we did send emails and didn't tell online sales we were going to do it. And I was like, so then we just had to recently change our schedules around for online sales teams, because we're like, we know emails go out on Thursdays, so you guys should probably both work Thursday. Right. So we made some compromises to make sure when you get so large and you have a more consistent process on when you're communicating with buyers and stuff, you have the coverage, and so that those things don't get missed. But we've blundered our way through all of that, and it's making us better as a team. But we do have a consistent meeting now between online sales and marketing to help smooth that out, and that's helped immensely.
It takes some time. It takes practice. It takes blunders. It takes learning from your mistakes, for sure. And I'm sure, Jessie, for you, it's really overwhelming, because if you have so many communities across so many different markets, it's like, how do you tackle VIP coming soon process? Do you have any ideas, or are you like, no?
Well, we've added 2 more girls to the team, so you know, it frees up a little bit of time. But we've also added a new marketing gal. Like, our marketing team's amazing, anyways, but with that many communities and that small of a team, it's hard to really get to everything. So they hired her, and she's great. She's out of our Raleigh market, so we're kind of actually spreading marketing, the face of marketing, out.
Good.
So that's really good. And she has actually already started working on making these beautiful templates that nobody in online sales would ever be able to make, so that we can send it out along with our online sales teams that's specific to that neighborhood or the market.
Yeah, that's that's another good point. Online salespeople, stay in your lane. Okay, you should not be creating marketing templates and things like that. That's why you have a marketing team. And the other thing that I think that was good that you said that I want to point out is, and Kerri can probably chime on this, you got to know when you need to grow your team. You got to know when you need another marketing person. You got to look for the signs. Are things dropping, or balls getting dropped, or things falling through the cracks? Are you just not able to be proactive? Those are signs that, hey, we need another person. You experienced that recently, Kerri.
Yeah, we were very fortunate. We brought someone on. We knew we were hitting a tapping point and adding a 3rd division. We knew our online salesperson had been by herself for 2.5 years at that point. And so that was 7 days a week, 365 days a year for 2.5 years straight. I don't even think she took but maybe 5 days off. And I think I had to cover the phones, and my anxiety was through the roof, because I don't know how she did that. But you have to be ready to make those changes, because you don't want your person burning out. That would be the worst thing, but you got to be prepared to give them some relief. And then our online salesperson actually expanded her family, so it was like perfect timing for us. We had already added that person on.
Surprise!
We were able to. I think we could all walk away from that situation going, oh my gosh, you're pregnant. I'm so excited. Like, there was no stress. It was all excitement, and there was no thought of, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
How are we going to cover this? Everything was covered, and it was an amazing process, and she got the time she deserved with her child.
Yeah, you got to have that backup plan.
You have to have a backup plan.
You got to have a backup plan, and it's not Kerri. No, just kidding. Okay, let's switch gears to you, actually back to you, Kerri. You attended primarily the marketing track. So let's talk about that first. What was big takeaway there, aha moment for you?
So marketing is always an aha moment for me because I'm not traditional. I'm not from a marketing background. I'm from a sales background. So every time I go there, I mean, the knowledge is just incredible. Yeah. The things they unveil to us on what works and what doesn't, and the deep digital dives that they do for us are just incredible on keeping us tracking and managing our marketing program. So Kevin and Andrew just do a fantastic job of knocking our socks off every time. But content, he talked all about content this year and how to reuse it, which was incredible because, you know, as someone that manages the budget, I see constantly what we spend on our content, and we invest so heavily in it, and it's got a short lifespan sometimes. And so they've taught us on how to keep reusing that content to make it resourceful and usable in other communities, other divisions. So that was amazing.
So like refreshing what you have, but don't let it sit stagnant.
Don't let it sit stagnant. Reuse it. Yeah. They talked about taking a Matterport and adding an audio overlay to it so that someone who is not as friendly to Matterport, because it's not good for all demographics of buyers, so it makes it a little bit more user friendly if you do a video screen of you walking through the Matterport and putting an audio overlay on it, which was mind-blowing, but yet cool. So simple. I was like, oh yeah, why wouldn't you do that? So incredible stuff.
That's awesome. And so then you went to the leadership track because in addition to overseeing marketing and being involved in that, you also oversee the online sales program. So what was your key takeaway from the leadership track specifically?
So the leadership track is the number one thing I was looking forward to this year because you all just implemented it last year. And I've been coming since y'all started these summits, and it knocked my socks off last year. I was like, this is exactly where I needed to be. And it's just great to be around people who are going through the same struggles as you. One, you don't feel so isolated in your problems, but secondly, you get to really network with people who are going through similar things, and they're providing solutions and alternates for you to work through. But again, planned encounters is my number one thing. And I touched on that last year, but it's such a good refresher because every year you get a little bit better at them. This past year I committed myself to them, and I was very consistent with our team, but they've gotten better. They're not perfect yet, so I've gotten better at doing them, and I took more nuggets away on how to make those encounters better so that their ultimate jobs get better, which ultimately reflects on my performance. So so that's number one for me.
So planned encounters, guys, she means like one-on-one meetings, coaching sessions where there's a true agenda on exactly what you're going to go over. What are some of the key parts of the planned encounter? Can you think of off the top of your head?
Yeah, so the first thing is review of a call or a review of multiple calls if you feel like that's needed, but we always review a call. We always have a graded scale that they do for themselves, and they're usually way harder on themselves than I'm going to be on them. So just taking that time to reflect on what you're saying online, a lot of times it comes back to, ooh, they don't know this about this community. It helps me as a manager get them tools that they need to know about certain aspects of communities. But definitely a grading of calls, going over the metrics, sitting down, how many leads, numbers, how'd you convert, what'd you provide, and where are your struggles with your sales teams? You know, like who isn't doing what you're asking of them? We got to get to the root of those problems.
That's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, it's so important because online salespeople, and I can say this because I was one, our manager walks in, hey, how's everything going? Awesome. I am great. Things are amazing. And sometimes, we don't really want anybody looking under our hood at what we're doing or what we're not doing. But it's so important for you as a manager to have that dedicated time because it gives them an opportunity to vent or to talk about any challenges they're having and successes, be able to say and show what they're doing. So That's really awesome. Real quick, let's do rapid fire. Summer, what's one thing that you immediately wanted to implement when you left the summit?
Okay, well, I actually immediately implemented this. I sent out the quick question email to go through my segmented prospecting list of just non-responsive. They never responded since I started for 3.5 years, some of them. And I couldn't believe, I think it ended up getting like close to 60% open rate and 40 responses from people that had never responded ever. And it was great. I bought here, you know, thank you for checking up on me, or I'm still looking, update me. But just the fact that they responded to that just by saying, I wanted to see if you decided to put your new home search on hold. So it's so easy for people to respond. So that was amazing. I did that like right the next day. And then just more videos. I'm actually doing one after this, going to a completed home here at Foxwoods and doing a personal little video. And then adding it with some marketing photos that Jackie had done and the other day. So yeah,
awesome.
To the VIPs. So, yeah.
All right, Jessie, implement right away. What are you doing right away?
Really cleaning up just our follow-up process in general. Just changing up the wording.
Oh, and there she goes again. We lost her again. Okay, Kerri, what are you doing?
So from a marketing perspective, what we did right away was Kevin had given us a tool for managing inventory, and we are an inventory builder. So we've taken every bit of inventory we have, we've staged it, and then we've provided a timeline of when marketing needed to intervene at certain points in the inventory process to make sure our inventory isn't getting stagnant, isn't getting past a completed stage without being sold, because that's something that's really important to our owners right now.
That's awesome. Jessie, what were you going to say? Just cleaning up your follow-up? You were fading in and out. Okay, cleaning up your follow-up. That's awesome.
Just freshen it up. Actually having marketing look at it, changing some of the wording a little bit just to make it more user-friendly.
Yeah, update. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, one tool that you cannot live without in your day-to-day lives, work lives. Summer.
Mine's Lasso. CRM.
Okay, Jessie's Lasso, CRM.
Yeah. Well, we all need the CRM. So I'll say my phone and then just the smartphone and then technology. So I'm going to use this. I have bomb on it. Going to go into the house, like I said, make a quick video. I also have my Dropbox on there because I'm talking to people on the go all the time and on the weekends. So the phone.
Yeah, that's your life, right? Yeah. Phone is your it's like you're married, you're dating, you're courting your phone. Yep. You got to have it with you at all times. Kerri, what about you? Tool that you use?
Mine's Google Data Studio. I've been able to get fantastic reports built in there for us to help us manage our team and really have good metrics in front of us at all points in time.
Okay, awesome. All right, next rapid fire question. What do you do to prevent burnout? Summer.
Okay, so
wait, hold on. Kerri just took a deep breath.
Oh, Kerri, you have
when
a
I
long
asked that question.
Okay,
so breathe is one. Okay. Yeah. All right, Summer, what do you do to prevent burnout?
I think, well, self-care. And I just remember I went to my first summit in Denver after only being in the position for like 4 months. And somebody talked about getting shingles, and Mike always references it, but it happened at my first one, and I just started, and I was just like, what? Like, and I am so hard on myself. I'm like, I can see myself getting that. So just taking time, like I can work out, like if I miss one call, I can call them back, right. And not like sweating the small stuff because it will all get done. And overall, you know, it's all in a line. So just like taking that breath and taking some time for yourself.
Okay. Jessie, what about you? What do you do to prevent burnout?
I'm piggybacking off of Summer, just really disconnecting completely. We're allowed to, you know, we can do that with the team that we have. We just really have a great team where we can make sure that our leads are still being taken care of, even if we disconnect, but also staying on top of all of your stuff, as counterproductive as it sounds, really working stuff, even on your day off, will keep.
Yeah. Okay, we lost her. All right, Kerri. Okay, deep breath.
I take deep breaths. I'm bad at self-care, but Celebrating the wins is important. I think that's one way to help. Just realize that you are making a difference, even though you don't always see it right away. But I do agree that online sales should disconnect. I've had the hardest time with my team doing that. And finally, I've gotten to a place where they're starting to do that. And I'm so proud of them because I think for online sales, you're just on all the time. You have to disconnect. And I try to take vacations every now and then. So a vacation.
I was getting ready to say, here you are, I asked you the question and you're talking about your team and what they need to do. So so if that doesn't tell you about Kerri's personality, there you go. Okay, Kerri, look into the camera. If you were speaking to an online salesperson out there that's watching, what is one piece of advice that you would give them from a manager's perspective?
Yep.
What is it?
I would say you have to be proactive with your manager. Sometimes your manager's going through a lot and that's not an excuse, but you can get easily overlooked, especially from an online sales perspective, because a lot of times either maybe you're not sitting near them in the office, you could be sitting in a different division from them. And usually our online salespeople are rock stars. So we look at them like, they're fine, they're good. Yeah. Mike always told us if they don't cry 3 times, they're good. John always stuck, I'm the president of my company that stuck with them. They haven't cried, they're okay.
3 times.
It's not true. And so sometimes if you can be in front of them with your numbers, gentle reminders that you'd like to have a meeting with them, putting your numbers in front of them if they're not putting them in front of you. Yeah. Just put yourself out there, and this is your business. You have to own it. Whether you cannot let a manager or anyone else compromise your success. So own it and just do your best with your manager and telling them what you need.
Love it. Okay, Jessie, if you could go back in time to your brand new online sales self, what advice would you give?
I would say
it's starting out.
Okay to not know everything. Yeah,
it's okay.
It's just impossible to know everything. We're human. Yeah, it's okay to not know. Just figure it out and go from there.
Okay. What about you, Summer?
Oh, well, I was going to kind of say something like that, so now I won't. But just like kind of going back to, self-care and just like, take a breath, like it's going to get done. And I'm really hard. I'm so much harder on myself than my manager and my owners. And so I have to, when I'm thinking, oh, this and that, and they're like, oh, we think you're doing awesome. It's like, oh, so just like, don't be so hard on myself. So now I'm not as much, but I was when I first started.
Yeah. When you're just starting out, you absolutely don't need to know everything, but you need to know enough, and you need to be quick. Yeah. Because being quick covers a multitude of sins. You can screw up a lot of other things, but if you're super responsive and providing great customer service, that's really all that matters. So that's my advice. Just be quick. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. This has been so awesome, and your words of wisdom and your advice and your experience, you truly are influencers. So thank you so much, and hope you guys enjoyed. And if you would like to see more information from Do You Convert, you can go to doyouconvert.com. Definitely check out our blogs and other things that we have on there. So thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you ladies later.
Bye.
Bye.